Wow, it's 8:16 now. Welcome back to RunTellThatToo. If this is your first time coming in, I'm Unwine with Teddy, and my main channel is Unwine with Teddy. But tonight we are here on my second channel, Run Tell That Too. So if you don't mind, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Shout out to the Rip Runners and my moderators, Baby Juju and Vicky Black. I can see the comments on the screen. I'm going to try something, maybe just a little bit different. I mean, it's still going to be analyze this mess. And I did look at portions today of a couple of videos. I watched some of Kimmy's video, and both of these videos, by the way, were over 4 hours. So what I did was try to pull something that's related between both videos. I'll just say it in that way. All right. So the other video, did that one come from last night and I got a chance to review some of it. So it was Sammy's video, all right? And what is related between the two, and I'll start with Sammy's video, is Golden, okay, who came on to Sammy's panel at some point. I believe it was, maybe an hour or so in. I marked it on the transcript so that I could refer back to it. All right. This is fair use commentary for education, criticism, news reporting, and entertainment purposes only. So we have, of course, Sammy. We have Golden when she first came on to Sammy's platform. And then there's Danny Lynn when there became this interaction between Danny Lynn and Golden. All right. All right, so we'll pause on that for a second because I'm trying to, this is a working live, all right? And then on Kimmy's platform, there were several people, but one I think I want to focus on when Golden was, I'm going to say allegedly, all right, accused of starting it. We'll just say starting it with Danny Lynn. All right. Starting a back and forth. So you have two different platforms, two different videos. And the video, Sammy's video, was really, really, really hot. All right. At least the portion. And when I say there were some major fireworks going on there. And then even on Kimmy's panel today, there were some fireworks going on. I see Grace Wins and Latoya. I can see on the screen here. So be patient as we kind of, I'm going to kind of walk through this the best that I know how. And I think as it begins to unfold, you'll understand. I'll keep up this background. Yeah, so let me see if I can set maybe a little bit more of the something that was going on Sammy's platform. All right, kind of put it in order. And I did jot down at least some things so it would remind me. And then I'm also going to play just some snippets, specific snippets that I have marked at timestamps as we go along. All right. So let me just say this. The discussion will make a lot more sense, I think, after reviewing maybe or listening to a portion of the earlier live stream from last night. People may remember that Golden Queen and Danny Lynn were going back and forth. But the origin of that disagreement wasn't random. It was not random. It appears to trace back to Sammy noticing Danny Lynn making statements in the chat about Ben's alleged private wishes, quote unquote. Then Sammy interrupted her conversation. Let me just put that together. I pause. Sammy interrupted her conversation that she was having at the time with Golden when she noticed Danny Lynn in the chat and others and what was being said by Danny Lynn on the panel. As a matter of fact, I made a screenshot so that you could see. Let's put this one up. Hang on. So you know what I'm making reference to. Is this a cover? Just do that. Let's see if I can pull up this screenshot. All right. And let's position it so you can see it. And remove that. All right. So this happened when you can see Danny Lynn there at the bottom. And Sammy put up her comments. And you can see who was on the screen or on the panel at the time. This is before Danny Lynn came onto the panel. So Golden was already on the panel. Golden was having a discussion with Sammy before the interaction with Danny Lynn. All right. That's important to note. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the video today on Kimmy's Live, I believe there was a person by the name of Cleo. If you watch that video today, the person that I believe that was going back and forth and questioning Golden was Cleo. If you watch that video and if you think I'm making a mistake and you think it was someone else, because I'm not going to play Kimmy Live's video, okay? I'm not. I have, portions of the transcript, but I don't even know if I'm going to read from that transcript. I'm going to right now focus on Sammy's video, okay? But look what Sammy noticed there at the bottom. Real Danny Lynn says, Sammy is making the relationship public, but Ben doesn't want the relationship online. That's what caught Sammy's attention. That's what broke her focus and conversation that she was having with Golden. All right. And so Cleo asserted, and again, I'm just going to put in my own words. without playing um, Kimmy's video, from what I can recall, that Golden started with Danny Lynn. Okay. That she started this. I want you to keep one thing in mind: the timing. All right. Golden Queen is speaking with Sammy. Danny Lynn is active in the chat. Danny Lynn posts comments about Ben's alleged private wishes or conversation. Sammy notices those comments. Sammy then interrupts the ongoing discussion with Golden, and it is Sammy who invites Danny Lynn onto the panel because she wants to get, I'm going to say, clarification on what Danny Lynn is saying. All right. Once Danny Lynn joins, Sammy's first major question becomes, how do you know that? Okay. How do you know that? Now, let's see if I can go back to my notes. Let me take this deal. Maybe I can just leave that up for just a second. Okay. And just tell you, from my point of view, this isn't really about Ben. Okay. And it isn't really about Sammy or even about Danny Lynn tonight. It's about something much bigger. Like, how do we know what we think we know? Because one of the simple questions, this one, the one that I just told you, like, who told you that? Or how do you know that? That becomes the question that changed the entire conversation. You know, not yelling, not insults, not accusations, just one question at that moment. How do you know that? That's the question that stopped me in my tracks when I listened to this section. Okay. Because people speak with absolute certainty about other people's lives. I mean, that's the world we live in, right? They know what somebody wants. They know what somebody meant, right? They know why somebody left or somebody stayed, or they even know who's in love. They know who's unhappy. But how? I mean, that's what fascinates me. How? And as I listened to this panel, I realized everyone was talking about relationships, but nobody was having the same conversation. At that moment, Sammy was asking questions about evidence. Danny Lynn was speaking from what she believed she knew. Golden Queen was asking whether any of this belonged online in the first place. And there was someone else also Who is that? DJ Genesis. And then there was someone named Conrad. Now, I have to be transparent. I don't know who Conrad is, not by that name, Conrad. So when where that little hand is that Conrad or is that someone else? Someone different. And the different person would be Swirl Gang. And I don't recall Swirl Gang's avatar being that one. So I don't want to refer to it. I don't want to refer to this avatar if I'm not correct, because I was looking for Sammy to put up like the names, like you could see, but they weren't. But I knew who were saying things, but I kept hearing reference. I think this is Conrad because at first it was just Sammy and Conrad together. All right, so now I'm looking at the comments. OG Wu Chow, welcome to Run Tell That Too, says Conrad, aka Big Daddy Conrad. Okay, so I still, um, forgive me, but I really don't know who that is. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more clarification. I know the others. Conrad was a heavy treetop, the one with the hat on and dreads. All right, so that's good to know. So that's Conrad. All right. She's a tree subscriber. All right. So now let's go back as I'm kind of working through this. So we have, I'm just going to say right now, 3 women because I'm going to play a portion, just parts of clips. Golden Queen was asking whether any of this belonged on in the first place. Hang on. I thought I was going to sneeze. All right. Can you hear any music in the background? Let's see. Let me just pull this up. We'll turn it way down. Okay. Now you should hear something very, very low. Welcome. I see Ange. And who else? Latoya. Hey. And Grace Wins. Others are in the bushes. All right. So let's try to get back. Now, so I was saying 3 different women I want to focus in on. Golden Queen, who was asking whether any of this belonged online in the first place. I think at some point before then, either it was DJ Genesis who also was saying that this belonged at that point offline. All right. So tonight, as we talk about this, we're going to analyze the best I can. Actually, what was said. This is all alleged. This is fair use commentary. This is for entertainment purposes only. So now, let me play just a couple of minutes from this portion. All right. This is when Golden first came on the platform. Now I've got to pull it up.
that just to further, poke and try to insinuate
Well, I mean,
that.
of course, to perpetuate the narrative, but
Right.
that's why it's important that you.
Hey, look who's here. What's up, Golden?
I don't know you, Golden. Hey, Golden.
That's Golden Queen. Okay, Golden. Welcome to the stage. I'm on Conrad, go ahead and please finish your thought, please.
Yes, I'm gonna be quiet. Y'all continue y'all conversation. I'm just here listening.
Welcome. Yeah, no, I definitely want to hear your perspective as well.
Okay.
I was just saying, Tanika was like, people are going to just talk anyways, and regardless, that's why you gotta try to sometimes hold things back because just because they're talking doesn't mean they have any truth behind them. But when you start releasing information in certain parts that people
Yeah,
can come up and connect dots that shouldn't be connecting, it becomes like more of factual type things, or they're in the right vicinity versus they're just guessing and just talking because people gonna go talk regardless. It's all I'm
that's right. That's right. That's a fact. Empress said, I would go further as to say it should be emphasized more in public so that others know to respect your partner or else. Yeah, I agree. Lisa agrees with you, Conrad, and I do too. So does Tanika. Yeah, very good points. Very good points. All right, a lot of y'all are agreeing with Conrad. Yes, and there has been talk of Conrad being a co-host. Um, yes, look,
saying.
RJ
Oh my
did
god,
did suggest that I do cooking with a side or a shot of tea, not beefing. Okay.
that's a
Um,
good idea.
a lot of the flirting again, is like Conrad said, performative trolling, type of behavior. Um, so yeah, Conrad, because they will hurt themselves trying to make everybody else happy. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing too. If it ain't for you to keep it more separate. All right, this is for Ben. Ben, the flirting has to stop, bro. We'll see. We'll see what happens, y'all. A leopard
That's
never
Ben's
changes his
persona,
spots.
though. I
It
think that's just
is.
his persona. I don't think that Ben is flirting to be like really like in a sexual deviant or anything like that. I think that's just
Hmm.
his personality, and I think that he does it in a way that I can see how some things can be considered like disrespectful, but that's because that's the type of relationship that y'all had on the forefront. But I mean, if y'all have these conversations, then it might not be because it's all about, like I said, it's all of the things that a lot of it's performative. So it's not even like real. So, I mean, those are conversations that y'all have if you okay with it. And it's not for us to say if it's disrespectful or not. It's up to you to say that because
And
you are the one in it.
and I also may have misunderstood some of those things as well, and have said some things, during this time that I maybe should not have said, and I do want to apologize to him for that. Um, so yeah, and again, a lot of that behavior he was doing prior to us even getting together, and I guess that was his argument, is like, these were people I was cool with, and we had that type of banner before you and I even, got here. So
So let me open up my mic. I will be going back and forth just with short clips so that I can give my commentary. Now, so let's stop it right there. This is going to be before Golden comes up. Well, she came up, but before she starts her interaction. All right. She's going to make her entrance. She's not going to immediately pick any sides. She's going to explain why she's there, that she wants to hear directly from Sammy. And that's important because she's already telling us her standard, not rumors, not chat, not clips, but the source. All right. So I just want you to remember that. Let me go ahead and play this second clip so you can hear it. Right here. Again, I'm skipping through this transcript at certain points.
Yes, you're more than welcome to. So what I was saying, so yeah, if I did say those words, I don't mean that, because it's like, how can y'all mind your business when I'm putting my business out there? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Well, how do you know that, Danny Lynn? How can you say that when he's the one that started it online? How can he's the one that put it out there? He's the one that announced he came to Alabama. He could have definitely kept that to himself. I mean, so I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. So Danny Lynn feels that I'm the one making it public, but that he doesn't want it online. What y'all think about that?
Who cares what he wants?
Why you say that?
I mean, hell, you need to put it online so all these other people don't know who. Okay, this is my man, and
yeah.
Don't get me the.
Well, that's what happened, and like the audience has said, it was not respected. You know what I'm saying?
So once people knew who your man was, then it became an attack about let's try to get her man.
Yes.
So
it became an attack. People wanted to hook him up with other women. Yeah, it was a lot of different things that happened. Mm-hmm.
So now she's going to ask Golden what she thinks about this.
Well, if he a good enough and strong enough man, that none of that would even matter. Like he's for you. What's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I want to hear from Golden Queen. Welcome. It's good to see you, girl. It's been a minute since we've actually conversed. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on? What would you like to add to the topic? What are your thoughts and opinions?
Hey, girl. Yeah, I know it's been a little bit of a minute, but no, I've just really been kind of listening to everything just so I can get, all of the information, from you and from what really is real, from the source. Because, things can be passed downwind, and by the time it gets to you, it's not what it really is. And so I wanted to hear from the source. So I came back, over to check out your channel and your platform for this segment. However, I have been watching your channel and your platform just from the bushes sometimes. But I like the other content and stuff that you do. You've been doing. You go around to the restaurants and stuff like that, and I love that you're doing the cooking videos again. I'm into that as well. So I watch all of that. But when it came down to this, I was like, oh, okay, this is a personal thing. This is like a relationship thing. And when it comes to those type of things, when it comes to me, I just always feel like that's people's personal business. I don't like to pry too much into it. You know what I mean? And choose to bring to the platform or bring, for people to see is what you choose. And yeah, people will have their opinions and, things that they may feel about what's going on between you and that person. But those are things that I typically stay away from. I don't really get into it, and I don't really have too much to say about it because when it comes to relationship stuff, we know it's complicated, right?
Hmm.
Relationship
Very much so.
complicated. And me being a woman, understanding, how that works and stuff, I don't make too much commentary on that. I listen to see what's going on, because I want to hear what's real, like what's true. So it's like, I'm like, all right, let me hear what's her side of the story. I hear other people who are doing their content and they're reporting on, what their thoughts and feelings and opinions is about it. But I like to hear it straight from the individual that's within the relationship and the connection. And so that's
So,
why I sat back
hmm
into listening or not. And I don't know nothing about Ben. I don't listen to Ben. I'm not familiar with his platform, nothing like that. I'm familiar with you. You know what I mean? So I was listening to your side and what you were saying, what was going on and whatnot.
So, right here, Golden is still just trying to get the lay of the land, trying to understand, what's going on. She's saying that she doesn't really, have that much information, but she wants to hear from Sammy, right? So let's continue.
But how all of that go down. But again, it's relationship stuff. I stay out of relationship stuff. You know what I mean?
I
So it's
hear
just
you.
on
Did you
that too.
have did you have any questions for me, specifically based on what you have been hearing so far or seeing? Like,
No, I don't really I don't really
okay.
have no questions. It's just like I just wanted to check on you and make sure you was okay. Because as a woman, right, we
Mhm.
women, and if we in relationships and sometimes it's online dating, we live in a virtual space right now. You know what I mean? So
So
sometimes
right now, and I'm sorry to cut you off right now
it's
because I'm behind in the comments, right? I'm about 30 minutes behind in the chat.
All right. So it's right there. It's right there. So Golden Queen is saying, after she's made her comments there, is that, she basically came up, she just wanted to check on Sammy, make sure she's okay. And I'm going to go right there. I'm going to go back. I want you to hear this transition and see how the tone changes. Let me just go back where Golden says she wants to check on her.
just like I just wanted to check on you and make sure you was okay. Because as a woman, right, we
Mhm.
women, and if we in relationships and sometimes it's online dating, we live in a virtual space right now. You know what I mean? So
So
sometimes
right now, and I'm sorry to cut you off right now because I'm behind in the comments, right? I'm about 30 minutes behind in the chat. At 9:24 p.m., Danny Lynn told Maria he wants to stop talking about it. So how do you know that, Danny Lynn?
All right. So, see, she time stamped it. She noticed that Danny Lynn told someone in the chat at 9:24. All right. He wants to stop talking about it. So how do you know that, Danny Lynn? So she shifts her attention, her focus right there. So listen to how it begins to unfold.
Why do you think that I would continue to do something that he's saying he wants to stop doing? You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that that it's just like, how do you know that, Danny Lynn?
can I ask you a question, Sammy? Because I'm
Not only that, I want to say this. These are topic discussions. It doesn't have to be about us. You guys kind of bring it to that topic. I kind of open it up. I said that I'm making these topics loosely based around my situation, right? I'm getting inspired by what I'm actually going through. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, and we don't have to keep harping on, I'm just hearing what you guys as the people have to say about what's going on. And also my hope is to kind of change some of the negativity and stuff based around the situation. So, I definitely know what I'm doing.
Do you think at that moment that the way Sammy responded to Danny Lynn or asked her a question, do you think that was out of line? I mean, if it caught her attention, do you think that would be a normal response? How do you know that? And then she continued, to try to direct the conversation to something more positive because she mentioned the negative. All right. I see some comments out there. I see Taurus in the chat says, "Hey, Teddy, everyone hit the like button." Let's see. Someone agrees with Ange, says with it being private because it's beyond messy. When the ladies are saying Ben stated he isn't in a relationship with her, and Ange comes back and says they don't like the attention Sammy and Ben have been getting, so some individuals are busy behind the scenes to stop it. Hey Juju says it's been a while since I've chatted, so let's see that. That's going up so quickly I missed it. Let's continue listening into this discussion as it develops. I should say unfolds. Listen.
But it's comments like that I'm just like, how do you know? Please
can I say something though?
Yeah.
Do you know how many married couples, they make their content, and they're still together,
Right.
They this one girl, she be wearing muumuus. I'm not sure if you know who she is.
The one that claps her ass when she cooks.
Yeah.
Yes. Curvy
Queen.
Queen Curvy, something like that.
I don't know what her name is. She got the husband. He always act like he don't care.
Oh, she not married though. She not married. Okay.
I don't think she's curvy. It's a girl. She sells muumuus, and her husband, they be cleaning up selling muumuus, right?
Now, isn't that DJ Genesis who's speaking now? Okay. Because I don't have it up. I don't have the video up. I just have the transcript that I'm playing from. Okay. So I'm not looking at the video. I'm listening to it. It seems that's DJ Genesis. Can someone just give me a thumbs up if you recognize the voice? Because I'm going to make a point here. And my point is, do you think that at that moment when Sammy was kind of starting to engage with Danny Lynn, that DJ Genesis kind of stepped in a little bit and tried to redirect the conversation, kind of start pulling it back to maybe a personal story? Listen to how she did that.
And all she did was be twerking on his head. And
yes, I be seeing them on Instagram. I know who you talking about. She married to, I think he used to be a rapper.
He did?
Yes. He used to be, he's from one of them old school rap groups. I can't think of the name right now, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
So popular.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, why can't we you know what I'm saying? We got our man and we just. But then here's the thing: is that when as much as people be in the comments like, "Oh man, you go girl," and then they be so inspired and couple goals and all that. But there's secret haters. People be kind of like jealous and envy. So as much as your relationship be looking cool, they seeing you coming together, selling muumuus and stuff. Y'all got like a business. Y'all doing this. then you have like people that like want to see their whole thing destroyed. So it's almost like the more that you reveal about your relationship, about hey, and we and woo, the more that you kind of expose it to like to haters that really want to see it be crumbled, like they're jealous. So envy and jealousy kind of like follows like that type of thing. So you have to be able to push through all that, and it takes a very strong. I mean, because I've seen couples like where all that drama online. I think there's this one girl, her husband be cheating on her. It's a light skinned chick.
Okay, I don't plan to play all of this, but I think what you can see is DJ Genesis was trying to get her back to what the topic was. And you're going to find out, or if you listen, to the video on your own, that DJ Genesis definitely was attempting to take it back away from the conversation about Ben and Sammy, their relationship, and back to the topic. All right. Let's see. Tor says, let me see. Okay. All right. Welcome, Taurus, to Run Tell That Too. So let me get back to this. I want to skip through this part. I don't plan to play all of this. I have specific excerpts that I want to give commentary on. So let's see. So we played through the part where Golden wasn't trying to solve any relationship at that point. And let's see. Okay. And Sammy came right back and said, "How do you know that?" And noticed that she wouldn't let it go. Why? Why do you think Sammy wouldn't let it go? I think because, again, this is my opinion and what was being said in the chat, because I looked at the chat as well. I think because Danny Lynn keeps speaking as though she knows Ben's private thoughts. At least that's what Sammy keeps challenging. Not the opinion, but the certainty. Like, how do you know? Like with specificity. All right. So let's pause for a minute. Just think about this. Separate a few things. Observation. I have my observation. Opinion, interpretation, and then what are facts? Because most online arguments happen because people mix all four together. Like, I saw him. That's an observation. I think he's unhappy. That's an opinion. He doesn't want the relationship public. That's interpretation. Unless, and I believe I later heard something to the effect that there was a receipt. All right. But I'm calling it interpretation right now. And then he told me directly that, what is that? That's potential firsthand evidence. Did we hear that? Did we ever witness a receipt being read? All of those, observation, opinion, interpretation, and an actual receipt, Those are completely different categories. Now, because I said I didn't listen to everything, I listened to a section, specifically this dialogue, this portion with Golden and Danny Lynn and Sammy. All right. So let's see if I can play a little bit more. I think it's at. And again, I'm having to pause. I wrote down these numbers. Let me play this part. Let me just continue playing. I think it will get to it.
Yeah, she be having her hair asymmetrical, and whatever. But her husband be like just dogging her out.
I want to skip
and
through
like,
this.
they making big money, but they're
Nope.
telling too much about it. People gonna hate on you. So, you know, I think that it should, like, certain parts you can like share, but at the most part you don't want to do too much.
Hold on, you gonna block who? Please don't block my supporters. Who block who? What's going on in the chat?
You late, Sammy. That was earlier. That was probably about 20 minutes ago.
So now Sammy goes back looking at the chat. She's a little bit behind and she's asking, what's going on in the chat?
Okay, who was it about?
They were
Block
just
who,
arguing. Danny Lynn and somebody else. I can't think of the
Okay, I
lady.
hope it's not Ange, because Ange.
So then Danny Lynn, somebody else, maybe someone else, is having an exchange in the chat. And she's just now catching up with that.
Is a very great supporter. So
I don't think it was Ange. I think they were
but
just...
Danny Lynn is also saying what some of the trolls have been saying.
Danny Lynn is saying what some of the trolls have been saying. So now she's turning her attention to that, really beginning to focus in on that.
Danny Lynn, can you click the link, please?
So it's there. It's there that she says, would you click the link, please? So she asked her to come up. All right.
Oh, okay.
Is this the
Swirl
beef
had got
sector?
her.
And I didn't know it.
No,
Sammy,
it's the toxic tea sector. I'm sorry,
So,
Golden.
I
Go
didn't even know
ahead.
there was. Oh, that's a thing called a toxic tea sector. Okay, I didn't know
nah,
that.
I just came to say hello and check on you and stuff like that, and just like hear more like directly from you as far as
Okay.
like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I like to hear directly from the person who's involved, not third parties and fourth parties and all of the
Right.
things.
So listen to what Golden said. Not third parties, not fourth parties. She's kind of sensing, some other activity. But she's saying it in a way that right now it's not so bad.
I wasn't really fully understanding all of it because I was hearing it from other sources. So I was like, yo, let me go back over to Sammy channel and hear what's really going on with this situation or whatever.
Mhm.
And then when I said it was like a relationship thing, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I stay out of that type of stuff. Because, people do what they do in relationships. It's your business.
So Golden.
Yeah.
Golden, I gotta ask, right? And I know you weren't maybe comfortable, or I mean, wasn't there like kind of a public situation with you?
So now Sammy asks Golden about what she perceives to be a public relationship with her.
Are you okay with
her situation?
just saying just a little something?
But it really wasn't a public situation. A content creator passing through town and stopped to visit me. That was it. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay. So y'all actually met?
Yeah, I met a content creator on YouTube.
Were y'all just friends or?
Yep.
So she's discussing what the topic is. Being online, being on social media, with relationships.
So it wasn't a relationship. It wasn't like that.
I got a boyfriend.
You have one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Damn.
That's all been kind of clarified. You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of been clarified.
So you had a okay. I didn't follow the story. You know, I just heard a little bit. So you had a boyfriend when y'all met up.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I don't know why everybody was, but so it would be like a similar situation like mine where people were making more of that situation than what it actually was.
Right. Because that's how you two do. You know.
Okay.
What it is, and it's not that serious.
Okay. Now someone made a comment and said that hold on, I wanted to read this. If people are supporting you, their perspective will be based off of what you're saying. No, I think Ange is someone that has been everywhere seeing all sides of different things that's been going on. The way, you know, people were swinging in the chat and saying, well, no, that's not how it happened. This is what happened. Like, no, it is not based off of what I've been saying. I have to disagree with that. Drinking is not for me. I won't lie on anyone.
So she's
But yeah,
reading through
Danny
the
Lynn
comments.
made a comment that Ben is telling people something different behind the scenes. So
now she recognizes another comment. Danny Lynn made a comment that Ben is telling people something different behind the scenes.
it's just like see that's what I'm
So
saying.
that's like the second.
You know, that is part of like people trying to make me look like a fool, right?
So she was feeling right at that moment, like questioning, you know, people making me feel like a fool. You know, like they're on the platform. She's talking, she's having a conversation with the panelists. But what has drawn her attention, or her attention is being divided in the comments that she's seeing out in the chat. Specifically, the last one. Just keep listening here.
No, I think
real quick, because I don't know like all of the stuff, right? So I just want to ask the question. I know you, right? And I know you have a platform and all of the things. I hadn't heard about Ben, you know, until as of recently or whatnot. So like the Ben dude, he got his own platform too?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're kind of comparing, you know, like Sammy is saying to Golden, you know, kind of like your relationship, people were thinking it was more, or, you know, making of it what you weren't really saying it was, you know, kind of like that. And they're continuing to, you know, compare.
All right, okay, so that makes sense. So of course he probably has, you know, like subscribers, followers, people who are into him and like him,
to know
and maybe, you know, majority female and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That probably, you know, support him, or probably could possibly have a crush or feel a certain type of way about him as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that a lot of the commentary and, you know, the things that are being said when it comes in defense of him between y'all relationship and y'all situation, when it comes, and it seems like what I've been seeing at the hands of many females, do you think it could be for the reason that they may actually have some type of connection or attraction or crush on him as well?
Ooh. Observation, comment. Golden Queen says that they may actually have some type of connection, attraction, or crush on him as well. And they make their commentary based off of that. Is she picking up something?
And they make their commentary based off of that?
No. Mm-mm. No, I feel like it is based off of what they are seeing and hearing. And then, he has, given some of these people a way to contact him. So that's where, these comments, like what Danny Lynn is saying.
Sammy,
Yeah,
Sammy. I'm-
go ahead.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is exactly what you're saying. If he has a platform, right? And on this platform, it could be a lot of females over there, and we don't know what their intentions are for supporting his platform and being there and all of the things and what connections or energies that are driving them, to be around him. What is his content? What does he do? What does he do on his platform? Because I'm not familiar with it.
Do you think at that moment that Golden was hinting at something, being indirect, sharing something that she might want to think about? Listen to this again.
If he has a platform, right? And on this platform, it could be a lot of females over there, and we don't know what their intentions are for supporting his platform and being there and all of the things and what connections or energies that are driving them, to be around him. What is his content? What does he do? What does he do on his platform?
So
Because
she's
I'm not
trying to
familiar
get the
with
lay of the land.
For the most part, I do believe that he's trying to like help bring people together, because I think a lot of it was like trying to figure out, well, what is the beef about? Why don't you guys, for example, like Sammy, you know what I'm saying, or what's going on? Because when he first started going live from StreamYard and opening up the panel, right? People were clicking the link and just coming for me. And it had got to the point where it was like, okay, how long am I going to sit back and just allow people to come over here and keep trying to humiliate me? They were just lying on
If I
me,
can
saying
step in for a
disparaging
second,
things.
Sammy.
Go ahead.
Now watch this. So someone wants to step in right now. Who is that? We'll listen. We'll hear her voice. It sounds like Conrad, but let's see.
And opening up the panel, right? People were clicking the link and just coming for me.
Okay.
And it had got to the point where it was like, okay, how long am I going to sit back and just allow people to come over here and keep trying to humiliate me? They were just lying on
If I
me,
can
saying
step in for a
disparaging
second,
things.
Sammy.
Go ahead.
Golden, he has an open panel discussion type of channel.
Okay. Well, Sammy, what I'm asking you is, okay, what you're saying is, as far as where maybe his channel is right now, this is the type of content he might be doing right now. But what I'm saying is, like, what is his initial channel about? What did it start off to be? What type of content does he make? Like from the beginning, when he started his channel and his content, what is he about and what does he do?
It's an open panel discussion, basically.
All right, so she's
He
still
lets
just
people
trying to get
from
the
this
back.
particular sector come in and
discussions about what?
open panel discussions about whatever's going on in this particular sector right now, the Black sector.
Okay, all right.
So Golden is still trying to get a sense of his platform. What is it about? She's asking more questions. This is way before, there's still dialogue on the panel between Sammy and now Conrad.
So you know how Cat used to do to get it off your chest? It's very similar to that.
But that wasn't the intention, though, Conrad. That's
I'm not saying that's what the intention. I don't know what the intention was. She
Okay,
asked what his panel is doing right now, and that's what it's doing right now.
Sammy, once it been established that y'all had some type of connection, relationship, or whatever like that, or whatnot, and he has like a channel that's just supposed to be open discussion about whatever, right? Like any topic, any conversation, whatever like that. Then it started to shift and segue into now open discussion and panel and conversation about the relationship and the connection between you and him. Is that how it went? Because I don't watch this channel, so I don't know.
So she's trying to follow it from the beginning to see how did their relationship develop, right? Did it start on this platform?
I'm asking. So did it
say that again?
Together?
Say it again.
Okay. I'm gonna say it again. So, all right. So his channel, from what everyone here on panel is saying to me, because I don't know, like I haven't watched it respectfully or whatever. It's like an open panel, open conversation about whatever, you know. I guess YouTube stuff is going on in life. So, I don't know, whatever you're talking about. Now, once you enter into his life, right? And being someone who's known to be like, oh, all right, they're dating, they're together, whatever. When that happened, did he segue his content, and did people come in and have things to say about that connection between you and him? And did it start to lead his content and his channel into conversations more so based around that?
So initially, before he even started going live on his channel, he was a supporter. He was coming over here and supporting me. When he made the decision to start his own channel, I reciprocated and I started to support him. At that time, when because initially he had started doing vertical lives, right, just straight from YouTube, and then he eventually figured out how to do the StreamYard thing. When the StreamYard thing happened, I remember he had wanted me to click the link, and I went up there and he was like, yeah, you know, they saying that we're husband and wife, they married us.
That's an interesting observation. They're saying we're husband and wife. So even before, at least this is what I'm getting the picture from. So she was helping him on his channel, and he had come over to her channel. Okay. And then when he got StreamYard, she was kind of helping him. And now people out in the audience, it seems, some, even if it were a handful, are starting to think about them as a couple. Is that how this happened?
Talking about, you know, a set of content creators on another channel or whatever. And I was like, what you talking about? You know, so when I went to go look, you know, there was a thumbnail created. People have been doing commentary, because when he started going live, I joined him even on the vertical. I had joined him on the live before. And people started doing commentary on it, just because he has a tendency to like fall asleep sometimes when he's up there on the live. And the first time that we talked, he fell asleep dead smack in the middle of our conversation. And so they ran with that, and they ran with the narrative that you know, I'm boring or whatever, that I put him to sleep. That's how boring I was. But then we come to find out that Ben just falls asleep. It don't matter who's up there, don't matter what's going on, he falls asleep when he's live sometimes. Yeah. So when they started trolling and saying that we're married, we at first it was that's my YouTube husband, I was his YouTube wife. That was what it was.
Like,
correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And then it expanded from there, and it became
y'all really like each other after that. Like y'all started to get to know each other. We like each other for real.
Correct.
Was it the rumble of his snores when, you know, was it making your body?
No.
Every inside snore.
So you see, they're still having a little bantering about, you know, talking about how this relationship evolved, developed, was on a platform, and nothing so serious right now.
They started to actually really like each other and made it.
I'm sorry, I'm silly.
Correct. We did end up, you know, genuinely.
You know what I'm saying? And so, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what the most of it that I was seeing was, from just looking from the outside in and not seeing it all, but seeing a little bits and pieces and stuff like that, and knowing how this YouTube platform and people shuffle around and act and operate on this platform. It's just like nobody's gonna know about that except you and him, right? That is y'all connection. That is what y'all got going on. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it can
what you want the post to say?
It can start one way, and it can be like, yo, all right, so he got his content that he do. I got my content that I do. We connect with each other. We make a connection. Oh, once we start to get to know each other, oh yeah, we kind of like each other. Whatever. We trying to make a connection here. That's y'all prerogative. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all make a prerogative and it's working and it's rocking for y'all, then that's all that matters. But what I notice is when it comes to this platform, right, especially when it comes to these men and these women that be on these platforms, when it comes to these men, these women will not be open very much, right?
So at that moment, do you think what Golden was saying is true? Observation? Any hint of it? Like what women see on this platform? If they see maybe something evolving into them? Some women aren't going to necessarily be so happy about that or in agreement with it, or maybe start some chatter about it. Let's see what she says.
And be honest about the fact that they have a crush on these men. They really have like a crush on these men. In their mind, they feel like when they come to these platforms and stuff like that, that this is like, shoot, we don't know. They could lay down at night and think that, this man is their man. We can't be sure.
Ooh. Do you think there's a possibility that maybe, someone would have noticed that they were getting close and this wasn't supposed to happen? And so could that be one of the reasons that Sammy started getting this attention and or trolling from some of these folks?
Right?
Right.
You also have to be, open and honest to the fact that depending on how these men engage and speak with these women, that they may be sometimes having a level of energy to where they leading them on, making them think that they have a chance, flirting with them, whatever, so on and so forth. Now,
and I personally don't think that's the case, but Golden, if you can hold that thought for one moment, because Danny Lynn has finally hit the panel and she has been in. Okay, she has been in the chat saying that Ben told her the other night. She also said, Ben, okay, she just dropped down. Ben is telling people one thing behind the scenes and you another thing. So, I think it's really important that we hear from her. And
all right. So finally, Danny Lynn hits the panel. She's trying to get connected. And this is where we're going to see some questions pick up. But remember, it's been some time since Golden came onto the platform and the others have been talking, getting to know a little about Sammy's relationship with Ben, how it started, and also talking about their own. Is she out of line at all so far?
No, I think she might be having some audio issues. And StreamYard be bugging too. And from my understanding, him and Danny Lynn, let me just say this, and from my understanding, him and Danny Lynn email each other, as far as I know, but he has decided to share his phone number with certain individuals. I do know that. So I'm just trying to understand what exactly is she referring to. um so yeah.
Now, I'm not going to play all of this. Something that I learned new. You know, okay, I'll get to it.
But you could go ahead until she comes back up. Oh, here
I'm
she
sorry.
is. Here she is.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm mute up.
Hey, Danny Lynn, what's going on,
Listen
girl?
carefully.
Hey, what's going on?
So you said the other night. What exactly are you referring to? Like what specifically did you?
The night, okay, so the night that you were live, that Genesis was on the panel, the night that he hit you live.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, trying to think if it was before he hit you live or in between the times that he dropped down and then came back up. I don't know exactly when it was,
Mm-hmm.
but he texted me and was like, I need your advice. And
So
then,
you have he has your number. So
correct.
you another one. Okay.
So at that moment, she didn't know that he had her number. That they were. She just thought they were emailing back and forth, or you know, I guess other social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having problems with my phone and I called him back. We didn't speak for a long time. And he asked me to be the co host for the show. And but that wasn't the
That
main reason.
that night.
Yeah. hmm And I was like, just for the because he had the live scheduled for the next night. And I was like, you mean just for that tomorrow? And he was like, no, not for tomorrow. Um, for the ongoing shows. I was like, we'll have to talk about that. But I was like, my battery is dying and my cords had broke and all my devices were dying. I only had 7% on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, that's not why I want to talk to you.
Mm.
So he told me that, uh, he was like, he didn't want y'all relationship to be public anymore. He just wanted y'all to work on y'all relationship behind the scenes. So he had been telling me now the story that Kat told me. I mean, put out there about
What story?
the story that you wanted him to block all of us. He told me the same thing.
Yeah, that's not true.
I
I
got to hear
never
that
So
said
again.
those
now,
Wait a minute.
so
Whoa,
now,
words.
whoa,
so
whoa.
now,
So he told me that, uh, he was like, he didn't want y'all relationship to be public.
All right. So she reveals to Sammy. She says he told her that he didn't want your relationship to be public anymore. Okay.
Anymore. He just wanted y'all to work on y'all relationship behind the scenes.
So he's saying there's a relationship, or at least that's what she's conveying to Sammy, but that relationship, whatever it is, he wants it to be behind the scenes. Keep that in mind.
So he had been telling me now the story that Kat told me. I mean, put out there about
What story?
the story that you wanted him to block all of us. He told me the same thing.
Yeah, that's not true. I never
So
said those
now, so
words.
now, so now, so now, Sammy, this should
Hmm.
be a conversation that you and Danny Lynn should have behind the scenes.
Okay, so who was that speaking? Wasn't that DJ Genesis at that moment? At that point, says that they should have this conversation behind the scenes because she kind of had an inkling where it might be going.
See,
Now,
you see how you're continuing
Or was
the
that
Hey,
cycle of
Conrad?
Essay.
having more and more commentary for people.
Is that
This is
Conrad?
not something that y'all should talk about right now. Y'all should
I
talk about this later.
That's Conrad.
I agree.
now, I already knew it.
Salute, BVO.
I already knew it when Cat went live, though. He and I had already talked about this, so I already knew it.
And that was already put out there publicly by Kat.
But I already knew it
Oh,
when Cat put it
You
out.
see, you hear these innuendos. Nothing to say what you're saying, Danny Lynn. I already knew it. She's telling you she knows more. Y'all should stop talking about this. Get back on your topic. Promise me, listen to me. You will have a better outcome to this whole scenario if you stop this conversation now and have it with her in the background, please.
Mm-hmm. So
Please.
yeah, I will. But remember, I just want to say this. But remember when you didn't understand why I had a problem with you, and I went to
When I
Aya. That's why.
didn't.
This is why. Like,
Okay, but what you're saying,
so she just told her why she had a problem with her because she reminded her. Remember when I told you that when you were questioning why I had a problem with you? So that's the source of the problem. That wanted her to be blocked, the others to be blocked.
occurred. Hold on. According to you,
But again, Golden still hasn't jumped in, right?
let me see.
I agree. I feel like this is a conversation that should be had behind the
Now
scenes.
she
And
yeah,
is.
I don't mind having a conversation.
Yeah.
Now, this is the point where Golden kind of echoes, if that was Conrad saying take it behind the scenes, now Golden chimes in. All right. Wait a minute. So that's Conrad. All right. So that's Conrad. So it was Conrad at first. All right. And now Golden is chiming in. Keep in mind, they've been talking for a while. Danny Lynn didn't hit the link right away. It took her some time. And finally, she's come up. She's answering some questions, right? She reveals that he texted her. He reveals, he being Ben, wants the relationship to be behind the scenes. All right. She also reveals that, remember, basically when we talked about what was, bothering her was the block, wanting to be blocked. She already knew about it. Kat knew about it. Ben, she said, is telling her the same to confirm that. Okay. Now Golden says this should be behind the scenes. Did Golden start this at that point? Did Golden start this at that point? Listen carefully.
So the double standards in relationships was 1 day ago.
And Sammy
Was that
focused
the live
on
that Genesis was on?
Yeah.
finding out.
Uh-huh.
But when Kat came out with that story, I mean the live, I had already spoken with Ben before.
Okay.
So when she went live, I already knew what Kat was talking about.
because she had spoken with Ben.
So he had told you that
Mm-hmm.
before he then also told the same thing to Kat.
Mm-hmm. That remember, and also remember what Ayo was talking about when she said, "Don't make me tell you what I know." Ayo,
I'll just say
that's what.
something. I just feel like, when stuff like this
So
happens.
so how does that mean that so he's saying he wants a relationship with me, but now he just doesn't want it publicly.
Mhm.
Why does he feel more comfortable coming to y'all telling y'all that than coming to me?
And this
If
is why this conversation shouldn't be
I
had
agree.
right now, Sammy.
Yeah,
This
I agree.
I will
conversation
have a
should,
conversation.
yes,
I don't mind
she's,
having a conversation.
Because I feel like when people want to come out and they want to put that out on a public
yeah,
platform, like it's like you're trying to embarrass
yeah,
and make
baby
it
doll, this ain't
like
nothing to, yeah,
playing
you shouldn't have this right now, sweetie. I understand you want answers, and if you want to go ahead and end your life to do that, but it's not a conversation you need to be having up for all these people to hear, right? Because you already have struggling with this relationship with this man. Not saying he's the problem, not saying that you're the problem, not saying Danny Lynn is the problem, but there's answers that you need questions that you have answers to, that you need answers to. Danny Lynn possibly has them, and they don't need to be for everybody to hear. Okay.
All right. So wait a minute. Go back to the point where you can hear Golden in the background. You can hear Conrad and or any others and what they're saying separately.
why does he feel more comfortable coming to y'all telling y'all that than coming to me?
And this
If
is why this conversation shouldn't be
I
had right
agree.
now, Sammy.
Yeah,
This
I agree.
I will
conversation
have a
should,
conversation. I
yes,
don't mind
she's,
having a conversation with you.
Because I feel like when people want to come out and they want to put that out on a public
yeah.
platform, like it's like you're trying
That's
to
it.
embarrass
Yeah, baby doll,
Embarrassed. This is her
nothing to,
perception.
yeah,
playing
you shouldn't have this right now, sweetie. I understand you want answers, and if you want to go ahead and end your life to do that, but it's not a conversation you need to be having up for all these people to hear, right? Because you already have struggling with this relationship with this man. Not saying he's the problem, not saying that you're the problem, not saying Danny Lynn is the problem, but there's answers that you need questions that you have answers to, that you need answers to. Danny Lynn possibly has them, and they don't need to be for everybody to hear. Okay. And you keep having issues with people talking about your business and all of this. This is a time for you to stop so you can move forward, and your relationship needs to be put in the back. And y'all talk about your relationship when it's y'all, not with everybody else.
And it's not even just like, Sammy is curious. She want to know, like, what's the tea? What's the information?
I mean, I would want to know too. Like,
But I feel like individuals that want to bring that to a public platform, and you already know that the situation is already so tense anyway. Like, why wouldn't you want to just, tap your homegirl on the shoulder and be like, yo, let me talk to you behind the scenes about some things that's been going down.
So that the first part or the first place where the tension would begin between Danny Lynn and Golden, based on what she's just saying. Like tap your homegirl on the shoulder and, like talk to her behind the scene about something that might be, a little embarrassing or private. Why did she bring it to the public platform? Put the comment there. Then Sammy noticed it. Ask her to come up. Go ahead, hit the link and watch what continues to happen.
Why you want to bring that to a public platform?
Technically, I wasn't going to say anything at all.
I'm talking about between Golden and Danny Lynn.
I'm just like, this is crazy. I did not know that Sammy and Ben were like really gonna get back together.
Ooh, so that's interesting. She says, I didn't know that like Sammy and Ben like we're gonna get back together. She mean by
Why didn't you think that?
Because how you were saying, the relationship was over.
Oh, that was kind of interesting when I heard that part. No comment.
Mm,
You
okay.
know, and
But
and the way
then the night that you was over there like asking him questions and talking about where you going from here, when he told you that he spoke to me, right?
hmm
You remember he came back, he had dropped down, he called me, and then he came back and was like he spoke to me.
you mean on his
So
panel?
yeah.
hmm Yeah, but speaking to you doesn't mean that y'all was going to get back together. It's just
And then we
just a
spoke again
conversation.
the next day,
hmm
and we've been speaking ever since then.
hmm
She
But
said
it ain't over
that
until
to
it's
me.
over
You
with
were
these
going to get
men,
back
child.
together.
You have to force them to get away from you, right?
But I don't want to be a messy person and, to mix and nothing. But my whole thing is like, okay, Ben got his own channel, Sammy got her own channel. Some of these women or these individuals seem like they have a lot of communication with Ben more so than they have with Sammy. So my question when it comes to that is, what is your communication that you have with Ben, and why does it seem to be so, like deep?
I'm
Like
not
why?
posting anything. I'm not going to post. I'm not posting anything publicly.
No, or you can send me, email me.
Why does it seem like you have this connection and this communication with Ben and these different areas or whatnot, and that Ben has been kicking it with Sammy, like you having all of these conversations behind the scenes or on the
Because
front.
so
Like I
I'm
said,
not
I
agreeing
don't
with
know.
you this
I
part,
don't
Golden.
know.
I'm not going
I
to
don't
agree
know
with you
how
this part
I don't know how
because
people take.
So it's right there that the question would become from the outside, was Golden, did she step out of bounds? Was it there that she stepped over the line by questioning Danny Lynn about her communication with Ben, if she knew her, Sammy and Ben were an item or maybe getting back together, which she said she didn't think they were getting back together. So was that out of order?
Content, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna
yeah.
be fair
Well,
about
first
that.
of all, the other day, Ben called me to ask me to be the co-host for the show.
So the other day, Ben called me to ask me to be the co-host for the show.
But what I'm
And
going to
that's
say is
fine. I mean, I don't care about the co-host thing.
I will say this though, Golden. These people have cultivated relationships outside of Sammy prior to Sammy's introduction to Benjamin.
And maybe that's the part that she didn't know about. The cultivated these relationships outside of Sammy. Talking about Golden.
So therefore, they're going to have some type of interaction outside of Sammy. But I wish these two women not have this interaction right now.
Tracy.
This is my last time saying it because I'm trying real hard.
Okay, and I'm about to. Okay,
Okay.
I got you, Conrad. I got you,
I'm
Conrad.
not trying to come out and say nothing, or make no assumptions and nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, I know, I've been through a little bit
Out
of
of
life.
his misery. Fuck you. I said words of power. Bitch, I don't have it ain't in me to make anybody miserable, bitch.
Okay, so now the chat, some of the people in the chat start attacking Sammy. And this is where it really goes sideways. But if I ended it right here, the way you hear it described on the other platform, on Kimmy's Live, because now, guess who brought it up? Y'all don't want me to start. Somebody said it was a lot of gossiping of, putting ideas out there without receipts or just dropping things without saying this isn't, I don't know if this is true or not, but just dropping hints to start conversation, to start stirring the pot, to, I guess, continue a storyline without maybe checking. I'll say this, maybe just if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to Kimmy's video, if it's still up, go check it out and maybe compare and stare to what's being said in Sammy's chat to what was said in Kimmy's chat today by others. And maybe did they get the whole story? And then, how they thought about Golden over there, both places, and just compare notes. Viva, let me just read your comment. Golden had a legitimate gripe from the outside looking in. The way it was described was that Golden attacked Danny Lynn. I mean, like it was over the top. But I'll continue to listen to it. Let's take a listen.
I am the light. I am the way, the truth, and the light, bitch. I'm the best thing that could happen to any man's life, bitch. Don't get it twisted. Miserable is the last thing that man should be saying he is when it comes to Sammy, ho.
So that was an insult to her, and I didn't necessarily mean to cover that part, but okay.
Fuck is you talking about? You stupid bitch.
Oh, that part.
Come on.
Okay,
It's
let me
okay,
see if I
baby.
can
Calm
skip.
down. It's okay, baby. Calm down. You're good.
No, I'm sick of her talking about put him out of his misery. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
I'm not reading the chat right now.
Let go by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, as far as what I can deduce, right? Okay, he had his platform and how he
So far she's
and,
calm.
and who he engaged with and whoever, you know what I'm saying, is the main, audience that he may have. And it may be majority women, right? Let's just be clear about that. And then, you come encounter with him and y'all hit it off or whatever. And then y'all start dating or whatnot. And then there are women sometimes that have been on that platform and engaged with him and not, saying that.
Yeah, there's new information to me,
You know that. I heard you say that. I listened to your live earlier where you said that. You was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care about any of that. He been doing it. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're real about that. Like, yeah, that's how he moved. That's how he operates. And so, but what it comes down to, what I don't like is the fact that it's like, yo, those will be the first women that try to like really drag you, make you look crazy, laugh in your face. If something, if y'all have a connection and then it just happens that connection just, doesn't work or parts ways and things like that, it's almost like they celebrate off of it because they really never wanted to see you with him anyway. Because maybe in the back of their mind, they wanted to be with him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are like that when it comes to men, and it can be vice versa as well. And I'm not saying all, and I'm not saying anybody on this panel has, operated like that, right? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that is something that does happen, and that's where a lot of, the fallout and the vitriol comes from, when it comes to these women having things to say and, putting their boots on and ready to fight and dog pile on top of you, because it's like, there's a relationship that they already have,
That part, Tracy.
That relationship may not be a romantic relationship, but based off of how, he has his channel set up and how he talks, to people and stuff and engage with, the women and whatnot that come in on his channel. We don't know what these women are thinking and how it makes them feel, how it makes them think, you know what I'm saying? How it makes them move. And then they see that now you made an actual genuine, deeper connection with him, it can make some of these women feel a certain type of way, and then they start saying things and they start dogpiling on you and all the things. Not saying nobody here is not that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that is what sometimes a lot of that comes from, and it can just add to the discord of like if y'all are having an issue, it's very easy for them to just pile on. You know what I'm saying? And windmill and do all of the
That
things.
part tally
And
up. Yeah, it's
honor
like you
because
protecting him. Like I don't understand why you not, but we about to wrap it up.
sorry, I don't want to say too much or whatever, but I'm just saying like what I have seen, not just in YouTube streets and on this platform, but what I know to be true in real life. This is how it moves and it operates sometimes. And for me, it's just like, yo, if this is your man, you date him, y'all in a relationship, it's between y'all, but he's yet still having conversations behind the scenes with other women. You know what I'm saying? Like more deep conversations behind the scenes with other women. That is not just the women's fault. That's also him that's doing that as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, where are the borders? Where are the boundaries set? Because once you get into a relationship and you start dating someone or you're spending your time with someone, that's the person that you chose, right? Then, you won't have to make some.
I was thinking the same thing. So that was the topic, having a public relationship on these platforms. This is the evidence of having it. What can happen? Just this. Because if someone patches things up, then people see all of the mess that went into it. But if it were kept private, then people wouldn't know that, right? They wouldn't. This man must be a millionaire. Love Wins, welcome. Do you know somebody, I think it was DJ Genesis, made a comment like, what's so special about this man? It must be something kind of like that has all of these women like so intrigued or involved on this level. Okay. Wait a minute. Play a little bit more of this. I want to get to the point. Maybe I'm trying to skip it. Let's see.
Some lines in the sand. As far as, yeah, I get that's how your content has always been. That's how you always operated and ran your channel, to be very open and very talkative when it comes to these other women. But if you're dating one woman, then you're gonna have to cut a little bit of that off. You got to get rid of that. But I know, Sammy, that you or someone would say, like, I know about that. Like, I know that that's how he move and he operate, and it's cool. It's cool in the game. And that's great, right? Like, because if that's how you feel, no problem. That's comfortable for you. That's comfortable for you, right? But then now that y'all are, having issues and this disconnect, and you going your separate ways. I guess he had his channel set up to be close to women. I guess he's been very open to speaking and talking about women and confiding in these other women that have been supporting him on his channel. And, now y'all relationship is all up in the mix with them. And it's not personal no more. It's a personal relationship with a man, woman, whatever, however it may work. It's like, yo, these conversations and things that we going through is between us. It don't need to be nobody else's ears. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Danny Lynn, he texted you asking you for the advice thing.
So she's continuing to go through, down the list.
I have the text.
Can you send me a screenshot to my email? Let me send you my email. So Danny, are you team Ben or team Sammy? Like what?
That dawned on her. That's really what she wanted to know. Sammy, which side are you on? Because it's at this point.
I've been team Sammy.
I've been.
Okay.
I've just been like, I I'm sitting up here listening to you, and it's just been irking me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I told Ben on the phone, I'm like, Ben, you need to tell Sammy your feelings, and I'm sitting up here listening to you, and obviously
So when
he
you would
hasn't.
say that, what would he say?
Listen, response.
He said he was. I thought he was going to tell you, but I'm sitting up here listening to you, and
No,
you
No,
what
no,
did he
no.
say?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Slow down, because you didn't answer that directly. So did he say I'm going to tell her, or like what was his response?
He said he was going to tell you. He was going to talk to you about it. But
Mm,
as I'm listening, you're still talking about your relationship publicly, and which is giving me the impression that y'all haven't had that conversation.
hmm.
Can
So
I say something, Sammy?
yeah, send me the screenshot though while we
You
here,
think she's glutton
I
for
think
punishment?
sometimes when it comes to these different type
please.
of cameras or whatnot, we understand that, and again, like I said, this is people. It is up to them as far as what their preference is and what they're comfortable with, right? Some women are okay with their man having homegirls. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? The
Mm-hmm.
homegirl be like, yo, they might give them some advice. If you and him get into an argument or an issue or something like that, they run to their homegirl, they get some advice, and their homegirl is giving legitimate advice because they really want to see you together and they want to see the best for you. That is sometimes a relationship dynamic that can happen between man and female, right? Or male or female. But then there's sometimes these girls that pretend that they homegirls and they're getting all the information and listening to the discord that's going on within the relationship because they're waiting for the moment to slide in. We know this to be true, y'all. Come on. Don't
You
act
put
like
the
you know.
number in the back chat.
And
That's
so
my
sometimes
email
You put
in the
the
back.
email in the back chat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
sometimes I just really wonder when it comes to like some of these
Hold on,
dynamic.
MJE, what op would send Ben for content? Who you talking about? He also knows Ben well as RGM, who was up here on the panel earlier. Phantom has been supportive as well. Phantom has been in support. So we have discussed that we're not that nobody from this app can tell us about us or our relationship.
All right, so that part. Hang on. Is that you say that's the beef sector? But I still say this is between adults, and it sounds like she has discussed something very different than what she's being told. Don't you think?
No, we have discussed that we're not that nobody from this app can tell us about us or our relationship. We are we talk honestly and candidly with each other. So I'm just like, I don't know, Danny Lynn. And you are, kind of deemed as someone that can counter. I don't know, because there's been people popping out about you saying like you can be a snake, you not to be. Okay, okay, okay.
But I will say this. I don't think Danny Lynn has a reason to lie to you about it. And I don't even think Ben was being malicious in having the conversation with Danny Lynn. So I don't even think
Yeah,
that should
but
be a
that's
conversation.
weird because that's like it's nothing for you to be like, baby, I think you need to. I know, but he even said publicly that somebody need to tell me to pump the brakes. You know what I'm saying? Because I have been saying certain things,
Right. So
things
let's
where it was being said that it was like a Ben hate. And that wasn't my intention. I'm not trying to make him look bad. It was really about my feelings and just how I had been feeling. You know what I'm saying?
I guess during that separation period. I don't know. But I still ask, what was the big I mean, did someone start anything? In other words, if it hadn't been brought to the platform, and Sammy wouldn't have noticed it, right? And if she wouldn't have noticed it, she wouldn't have mentioned it, and she wouldn't have confronted Danny Lynn about it, right? So should all of this have been maybe just kept behind the scenes? I think that's what the ladies were trying to get her to do, at some point. And then it continued to spiral from that point on. I don't know. Who told you that? Who told you that? Where is the, it's like, does anybody's relationship have to be accountable to this public platform? You know what I'm saying? Even though I talk about it, they're not accountable to me. In the same way, these other, unless there are more than, like more people in the relationship that people don't know about. Right? Kind of something like that. Who told you that? And all these different people dropping, this is what he said. This is what he wants. He doesn't want to let you down. He's trying to do it easy. So he's using an intermediary. Is that what this is? Someone else to tell you that doesn't want to tell you, not quite. Everyone was called in. And yeah, they're having a group think, a group, meeting over Sammy's relationship, all these other women. And what? And calling Ben or chatting it up with Ben and giving him advice as to what he should do, or he's leaning on them for his advice? Are these advisors? Okay, so here's the one thing I learned. I had been saying, well, Danny Lynn is married. Remember, I thought, I didn't realize until I heard her say it. Whoever was, maybe was this Sammy's video later. She talks about how they met and when she was 14, but he passed away. I don't know. So it wasn't until then, that I'd learned that, her current situation, that means she's, for me to say, like, where's her husband in all of this? Yeah, I didn't know. So that means she's available too. That changes the situation, at least to me, when I'm thinking, oh, well, she's with someone. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I just wanted to mention that. Maybe that changes, why she didn't think that they were going to get back together anyway. That's what she said. She had written that relationship off. Right? What does he have to say about this? I didn't think I'd bring Blade on for this. I just give my, listen to a few of the clips and give my opinion. But again, if people on the other platform who didn't know what happened, in that video, they didn't see what led up to it. Yeah. They're thinking that, Golden got on the platform and picked a fight intentionally. I don't know if I see it that way, but Blade would have been activated by this. Probably so. Probably so. But it certainly can open up our eyes. When I heard this part, that they're having these group discussions about other content creators. I mean, a whole group. Is that what they do over on Discord or wherever? It's no wonder. I was thinking about the group that got together and talked about my channel going down. That's something different. But these groups get together, I guess on Instagram or whatever they do, and discuss, so that you find out that a lot of people are involved and know and record and talk about it. Someone asked my personal, what interests me, I think. Was that the question? Could be one or two things. Human interaction and getting stories correct. Who told you that? What they said? They ate on the phone. Like, what's in it for them? Do these people really have your best interests at heart? Are they with ops or not? Yeah. It's like so many different things you can look at. But right now it's fair use commentary for entertainment purposes only. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:10. I've been on for 2 hours. Run Tell That Too. A group call. A group chat. What's this? I'm just trying to read below. Yeah. Read below the lines, not read between the lines. Like I said the other day, throw them all out. If you have to, question and say like, wow, like a double take. Why is this other person so interested? What are they team? What team are they on? If you have to ask that, you might want to think twice. I don't know, but between the three, Sammy, Danny Lynn, and Golden, I think one thing came before the other. So, yeah, that's kind of how it happened. But then that's just my opinion. I don't know any of these people. Miss Danny, facts. I say keep it all off, because if people did, especially the intimate details, then you just yeah. But what someone asked, okay, so here's the final question. How would you feel if you were in a relationship? Now, some women feel comfortable with this. Female friends, does that mean that a woman is insecure, or does it mean that a woman is insecure if other women outside of the relationship appear to be closer? Should she maybe evaluate the relationship? Maybe she thinks it's more than it really is. And do you think that all of these other women don't know what they're doing? In other words, experience how another woman might feel. Yeah. And are they doing it to make the person jealous? Or do they just not want to see a certain person with Ben? Maybe they just didn't picture Sammy being with Ben. Maybe if it was someone else, they would be okay. I don't know. But are they doing anything to help the situation, to get them back together? I don't think so. That's just my own opinion. Yeah. All right. That's it. It's 10:15. Tomorrow is 3rd of July, the holiday. I hope all of you have a great one. Don't know what you're planning. Maybe I will come on sometime tomorrow. Don't know. I plan to, maybe, at least. Wait a minute. Let me mute mics. All right. That's going to do it for me. Let me check my email. I don't know who this person is. Let me see. All right. I appreciate all of you who sent emails. Maybe I will take a look at it later and read it. Any questions, concerns, suggestions, email me. Check the community wall. Thanks to my moderators, Baby Juju and Vicky Black. I appreciate you. Ben was Michael Jackson's house rat. Mouse, or was he a rat? Named Ben, yeah. Beneford, yeah. Thanks everyone for dropping by. Great live and commentary. That's it, Rip Runners. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Now, run tell that too.
That I've been so far away. I've had a lot on my plate. I know that I've been so hard to reach, but I don't wanna be that man. I wanna do better by you. I wanna be better for you. No more taking you for granted. I wanna do better by more taking you for granted anymore. So baby, please keep the door open for me just a little bit longer. Yeah, we could try to mend what is broken. If you just keep the door open. Journey far from where I stand. Now I'm longing for change. I hear the echoes from this different man, but all his words are rearranged. So baby, please keep the door open for me just a little bit longer. Yeah, we could try to mend what is broken. Yeah, you just keep the door open. Oh. Wanna be better for you. No more taking you for granted. I wanna do better by you. Shed the old, embrace the new. No more taking you for granted anymore. Need just a little bit longer. Oh, yeah, we could try to mend what is broken. If you just keep the door open, yeah. If you just keep the door open, yeah. If you just keep the